Do you see him holding onto the scoring title this year, Kenny?
Well, a big thing for Freak is trying to avoid the stat.
We're live, the home of the Miami Heat, American Airlines Arena in downtown Miami, Florida. For the Miami Heat, they're coming off a loss to the Wizards. And that was a real body blow for them. They got taken apart both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, I had the chills watching that. It really was a nightmare defensively for them when you go into that building and get punished by some very hot shooting.
They didn't challenge the shooters. They didn't defend the shooters like they should have. And once the fans got into it and the arena started ramping up and cranking up, it was over.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. They've got Spencer Hawes, C.J. McCollum out there with Johnson, and it's Childress in at the point. Here's Clark.
Well, that was a quick foul for him there. The refs are certainly calling it close.
That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2. Here's Atlanta now. It's a 5-point game. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Chicago.
Yeah, they lost the momentum, and it's a bit surprising that one got away from them, because for long stretches they were the better team.
Well, if you only looked at the stat sheet, you'd have a hard time figuring out how they lost it. I mean, it was a case of a few small things. Some of the intangibles that didn't go their way in the end.
Now Childress following the three-point attempt by Freak. And here's McCollum for 3. And he gets the bucket. McCollum's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Here's Clark. The shot is good, and so is his shooting. Tonight, 3 for 4.
And he's starting to get what he wants here early and often. Nice move.
And stolen by Freak. And here we go. Fast break. Freak's got it. He sinks the 11-footer. Clark's got 9 points.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts.
McCollum kicks to Childress. Right wing. Here's Constantine. Misses off the right iron.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
And a wide open look for Freak. Here's Holmes. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
Everything going according to the script for them offensively so far.
Clark, shots be falling. That's for sure. They're scoring with a tremendous amount of confidence.
You went straight playground old school there, partner.
A nice shot by Winslow.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Now, here's Childress. 20 points for him last game against Chicago.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend, because they just handed him 2 points.
Now here's Freak. He's covered closely. The shot will not go. And Atlanta will go the other way with it. And he commits the intentional foul.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a break.
Yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
The Heat making a switch here. Payton's check. The Heat with the lead. Clark in at point guard. Noel is out there with Winslow, and it's Holmes in at the 4 slot. So that's who Miami starts the second with.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
Now let's send it to Doris on the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Wizards made some terrific plays. He had 30 points, and he did his thing on the defensive side as well, nabbing more than his share of steals. He seemed to be everywhere on the floor the entire time and really was the star of the show, Kevin.
Great job, Doris. Thank you, guys. It's going to be very interesting to see if he can stay in a role like that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes those hot streaks can last for days, and I'm sure they'll be feeding him the basketball, hoping he's still got that mojo working.
Well, they ought to. I mean, when you've got a thoroughbred like him, I think you've got to ride him for as long as he'll carry you.
Three-pointer. Miami no good on that time either. The Hawks leading. Cullen passes to Hawes. McDermott. Another three for Atlanta.
A wide open three. They need much better communication defensively.
To end the run. And that one's good by Clark. Clark's got 14 points for the game.
How about that move? You'll see very few players able to pull off just sensational stuff.
Hawks making a switch here. And he's going to get... Miami's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. It's good from long range. Clark's got 8 points in the quarter.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. And now we've got the intentional foul. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for Miami.
And it's been about their defense.
Hawks making a switch here. And we're through the first half of basketball.
Give it up for your Heat Nation. Give it up for your Heat Nation.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball.
And what a tremendous game for Freak. Yes.
Checked in for Gill. The Hawks making a switch here. The Hawks leading by 4. And stolen by Freak on the court for Atlanta. They've got McDermott, and it's Childress in at the point guard position.
And he's really made the most of his opportunities today. I mean, he needs to keep working for those kinds of looks.
And he gets the bucket.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Payton kicks to Winslow. Clark. And again, Miami with the triple. Atlanta's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. And so it's Miami winning this one.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Freak. He had a tremendous first half, and that clearly inspired the whole team after halftime. Gave him a big lift.
He made a big impact with his three-point shooting. 12. That's right. 12 of his points came from beyond the arc. He really allowed them to stretch out the defense and open up the floor for driving lanes as well.
Well, certainly a solid night for him offensively. Excellent production pretty much everywhere. He was what I call NSV, Ernie, a nice safety valve. When they need to open up the valve, he came through with that offense.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.
I get it 365, 12 months. $24.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, NBA fans. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, and seated beside me, Kenny the Jet Smith, and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. In this game, we'll see the Indiana Pacers against the Miami Heat. For Miami, with a record of 3-7 over their last 10 games, they have been struggling. Wins hard to come by. We'll see if they can grab one tonight. And Kenny, tonight we have two of the more veteran rosters in the league competing. Obviously, a lot of experience out there on the floor. What kind of game do you think we'll see with all these vets?
Well, with vets, you're going to see good floor spacing, guys who take care of the basketball, and they're going to get back on the defensive end. You don't have to coach guys like that. You just let them go. You're going to be doing all the little things that make the big difference in winning and losing.
You're right, Kenny, because both teams have seen everything. No one's getting fooled out there, Ernie. Comes down to who can make the big shots.
With the tip-off approaching, it's time to...
Was born. 2K Sports brings you the best in NBA coverage with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. This is Kevin Harlan. We have Doris Burks on the sideline as well. We'll see the Miami Heat defend. Home turf in the Eastern Conference. Last time they met was right here, and they came out with the win. The confidence, hopefully back. They got that after dropping 2 straight to begin the season series. Can they ride that and even it up here? That's the question.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it as they should have.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. On the court right now for the Pacers. Jones is out there with Turner. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Sheldon Mack. And it's Bazemore at the shooting guard.
Very nice pickup of the offensive rebound. And once he gets his hands on it, you know it's going back up and back in.
Mack, no luck. For Miami, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Freak with it. He's coming off a 22-point game against Atlanta. His 3-pointer's off the mark.
I tell you what, you can shake your confidence missing wide-open shots like that.
Here's Mack. Sinks the 15-footer.
Really nice way to get your first bucket of the day.
There's a screen by Noel. And a wide-open look for Freak. Miami no good on that time either.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
And stolen by Freak. And here we go. Freak had it. Whoa!
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Here's Clark. After Indiana gets the 3, and he gets the bucket.
And how about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back.
Bazemore misses.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
Now here's Freak. He's got 7. Off target from 3-point range. And George gets it to Bazemore. George with the ball. Now guarded by Winslow. Lets the 3 fly. George, no good. Their Heat leading by 4. Well, Doris, an interesting game. Moments ago, you had a chance to talk with head coach Frank Vogel. What do you have to say?
Kevin, it's no secret what their defense revolves around. He said our shot blocking in the middle makes a huge difference for us. We protect the rim, and I expect nothing different in this one. Guys, they're looking to wrap up this series, 3 wins and 1 loss. We'll see if they can send them packing in more ways than one.
Wonderful, Doris. Thanks. They're thinking about their defense right off the bat here.
Yeah, great thought, really, to have coming out of the locker room. Worry about making stops first and foremost. Let the offense take care of itself.
Yeah, I agree somewhat, but at some point you've got to do some work offensively as well. They can't rely on defense alone.
Miami's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from 3-point range so far in the first. A nice shot by Winslow.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
It's picked off. No one near him. And it's Miami with another. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Heat.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
And the Heat going with the whole new group on the floor. The Pacers making a switch here. Looking at the last game for the Indiana Pacers, it was a win against the Magic in Orlando.
And they may have been on the road, but you know what? They nullified any home court disadvantage in that game by how well they shot it from 3.
Shooting can always be a great equalizer. I mean, when you shoot like that from outside, it really makes winning on the road a lot easier.
Clark, he's in at the point. Nerlens Noel is out there with Looney. Then there's Gill. And it's Winslow in at the 3 slot. That's the group in the game for the Heat. So it's the Pacers now, following the 3-pointer by Freak. In by Jones. Bazemore. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
And how about the execution on that play? The screen was set up in exactly the right spot.
And the finish wasn't too bad either.
Perfectly designed and perfectly executed.
The finish blows the dunk.
You rarely see him missing dunks, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough.
And that one's good by Clark.
And that makes it 2 3-pointers in the quarter so far and 4 for the game.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones a long time without a basket.
They got to find something. You're right.
Still trailing, but their offense is off life support here in the second quarter. It's got a pulse.
Good point, Clark. They're starting to make some shots, looking to try and get back in this one.
The Pacers have gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the line tonight.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
And that's a little better than they did last year from the free throw line.
Now here's Freak. 18 points for him. And Jones over to help. No good from Clark. Pacers trail by 4. Pass to Bazemore. The baseline J. It's Clark with the rebound. And no good as it rattles out.
And as far as jump shots go, that's what you have to continue to try and get.
I don't know how that one stayed out.
Indiana again missing. So the Heat, their last game, a win against Atlanta.
And they were really locked in from beyond the arc in that game. I mean, the results wouldn't have looked anything like it did had it not been for their ability from beyond.
Exactly. They were spraying home threes at a huge rate.
Give it up for your Heat dancers.
Let's catch up with Doris.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear the Heat's coach going over their game plan during that break. He focused on their offense and said to his guys, make the extra pass. Don't try to play hero ball and do it by yourself. That ends up leading to bad shots. Well, coach not wasting any time in tweaking the game plan. We'll see if it makes a difference as we approach halftime, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for 1.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
And Mack kicks to George. And stolen by Freak. Lets it go.